Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? I hope so. Let's get into episode 6 of Under the Bridge. And the title is In Water, They Sink as the Same. And everything that I'm saying in this video is in my opinion, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so episode 5 left off with Kelly telling, how she did a 187 on Rena. Dusty heard what she said and got into a tussle with Kelly and broke her nose. The house manager came in and she took Dusty away. Joe says that they can't trust Dusty and need to get rid of her. The girls go into Dusty's room and tell her, come on girl, we're finna go to Mexico. And this story is based on actual events. Certain elements have been fictionalized or invented for dramatic purposes. Okay, so episode 6, the scene opens with Rebecca having a dream of the past. It was 1982 and the young Rebecca was listening to her Walkman rolling cookie dough. Gabe and Cam walk in and Gabe has a busted nose. Rebecca wants to know what happened and Cam says, don't worry about it. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. You can tell that Rebecca and Cam, the way that they look at each other, you can tell that they like each other. Cam is trying to convince Gabe to go to the dance, but he don't really want to go. But while Cam is trying to talk to Gabe, trying to talk him into going, Rebecca is getting jealous. So she interrupts and tells Cam that she has something that she could wear to the dance. So they go up to Rebecca's room. While in her room, Gabe comes to the door and said that he tried on the suit, but he needed help with his tie. Rebecca tells him to go away. Cam is trying to try on her dress, but she is very rude to Gabe when she says that he looks real sad, right? So Cam is about to try the dress on, but when she looks up, she sees Gabe because Rebecca and Gabe's room, they have a Jack and Jill bathroom. So Rebecca calls him a perv, tells him that Cam doesn't like him. She just pities him. Cam told Rebecca that she shouldn't have said that to Gabe. So she leaves to go check on them. After a while, Rebecca starts to look for them, but she couldn't find them. So Rebecca goes back into the kitchen to take her cookies out of the stove and she notices a helicopter that keeps circling the ocean. Then there's a knock at the door and it's 2 little boys asking if she was Gabe's sister. And she was like, yeah. And they said he fell. Now we're in the regular past with Rena and Dusty. So Rena and Dusty, remember they said that they didn't need Joe. They'll make their own gang. And they trying to make up a rap, child. But while they were rapping, the house manager comes in and says that she needed to talk to Rena. They get to her office and she hands Rena the letter that she wrote about lying on her father. She said that a counselor had found it. So she asked Rena, why would you make such horrible accusations about your father? She asked her, why would you lie about something like that? And Rena turns and she looks out into the open living room and she sees Joe sitting at the island, but she doesn't answer the house manager. So the house manager told her that she couldn't stay there. You got to go, baby. What you did was horrible. And if your father is convicted, he will be an ex-offender for the rest of his life. And Rena looked shocked because see, you didn't think about all that while you was over there trying to kiss up to Joe. And this does a back and forth. So now we're in the present, right? So Officer Cam and her brother go to the Cam Waiton Housing Society to find out about Warren. They were told his grandmother lived there, but the manager told them that she passed away years ago from a heart attack. The manager asked Cam, where was she from? Cam said, Victoria. The lady says, no, where are you really from? And she said she didn't know because she was adopted and she had never met her parents. So Rebecca is still at the hangout. She fell asleep on the floor. Warren was still with her. She asked Warren if he wanted her to take him somewhere, call somebody. He said no, nobody will be looking for me. So she asked him if he wanted to go with her. It was her dad's birthday. They get to the house and the parents had already left. Warren, he was sitting there eating and he remembers that he was going to take Samara to the dance, but he didn't have anything to wear. Rebecca asked Warren if he told anyone else what he had told her about Kelly. He said the only person he told was Samara and that he was going to go to the police, but Samara got scared because on the news, the cops said that anyone who was involved would go down. Rebecca says, but you weren't involved. You just watched. That's not the same thing. Warren hesitates and then he says, I kicked her once. I was drunk. And I know you might think I'm a loser, just a effed up person. And Rebecca says that wasn't what she was thinking, because sometimes we take rage out on people who don't deserve it. And that was in reference to how she treated her brother. She let Warren wear Gabe's suit, the one that he tried on that day, and she helped him with his tie, which is the same issue that Gabe had. He needed help with his tie. I think she kind of saw her brother in Warren a little bit. While they were getting his suit together, Rebecca told him that the cop he was talking about is a really old friend of hers. And if she asked, if I asked you to talk to her, would you talk to her? Warren didn't answer. He just stands there in silence. I know he probably was thinking about the street code and all that old type of stuff. So Rebecca meets up with Cam. Cam said that she talked to Dusty. And Rebecca says, yeah, they left me at the shipyard on acid. And she tells her that she has something on Kelly. And her witness is Warren Glowacki. When she says this, Cam was like, dang. And Rebecca was like, what? Cam lets her know about the girls calling and saying Warren did it, that there's a warrant out for his arrest, but they can't find him anywhere. But Rebecca never mentions that Warren is at her house. So Rebecca says that they're trying to pin it on him. Cam wanted to know who told her about Kelly, and Rebecca lets her know it was Warren. But Cam wants to know if Rebecca believes him. And it's not that Cam doesn't, because she know that Kelly had way more motive than Warren did. But Cam said that she'd have to talk to Warren. But Rebecca says, you have a warrant out for his arrest. You can't arrest a witness. But Cam says she doesn't have a choice. She has to do it the right way. But Rebecca knows that Cam's father, the chief, is not going to do it the right way. He's going to do whatever makes the police look good. Rebecca wants Cam to think about how all of this is going to play out, because Kelly has support. She has a family. They have money. Warren has nothing. And both Cam and Rebecca know that if the police arrest Warren, Kelly is going to get away with 187 and the 187 on Rita. Next, we see Kelly, Joe, and Dusty at the store. Kelly's mom brought them there thinking that they're getting snacks for after the dance. And Dusty is believing that they are getting snacks for Mexico. Joe asks Dusty to go get some drinks. And when she walks off, she smirks and says she really thinks we're going. Kelly says, we'll just play along until after the dance, until we can get rid of her. And then Kelly steals a box of rat poison. As they're about to walk off the aisle, they run into Rena's mom. Joe looks scared, but Kelly puts on this sad face and she says that she's sorry about what happened to Rena and that she wished she was there to help her. Kelly's mom sees the interaction and then she rushes over and pushes the girls, away from Rena's mom. When Suman gets back home, she tells Raj and Manjit what happened at the store. Suman said the moment that Kelly said what she said, she knew it was her. She saw the pure evil in her eyes. Raj wanted to go find Kelly because he wanted to dare Kelly to look into his eyes and say that she didn't end Rena's life. And he said that he was tired of waiting on the police to do something. He was tired of being patient. Manjit, on the other hand, he doesn't feel like any of that would help. Suman says that those girls took Rena before they could save her. They took her soul. Raj and Suman, they leave to confront the girls. But as he's driving, he pulls off on the side of the road and Suman wants to know, what are you doing? And he says, I've been here before. He realized that that's where Rena jumped out of the car on the day he picked her up for school. So Mom wanted to know what was he talking about, and he told her that Rena asked for a ride to View Royal the day it happened. So now we get a flashback of him telling Suman about that day. So on that day, that's when the house manager told Rena that she had to go. She couldn't be there. So Rena goes to pack her things and Raj comes to pick her up because she's going to stay at the grandparents' house. He then asks Rena, what were you thinking? And Rena said that she didn't think Martha, the house manager, was going to call the cops. And Joe told her to say it so that she can live at Seven Oaks. Raj was confused. He needed to know why Rena wanted to stay there so bad, and she said that it was because she didn't want to stay at her house anymore. Then she asked him if she was going to be resurrected, and her uncle tells her all of this is going to be over soon. Middle school, high school, even living at home is all going to work itself out. Rena starts crying and apologizing and says that she just wants Joe to feel as bad as she does. Raj says she will, I promise. And then the next scene is Rena calling Dusty, asking her how are they going to get back at Joe. Dusty really don't want no parts of it, but Rena said that she was going to steal Joe's address book and call everybody in it. Dusty told Rena that Joe was going to be pissed and she was going to come after her. Rena says good, and she told Dusty that she would have her uncle to drop her off at View Royal. And that's the scene we saw in the very first episode with Raj picking her up from school. Then Rena got upset and she jumped out of the car and walked over to Seven Oaks. Now we're back in the present, and Raj wants to know why does all the bad things seem to fall on them. Suman says God helps us, and Raj looks Suman in the eyes and says, Suman, if your God was real, why isn't he helping us now? Suman told Raj that he sounded just like Rena, and he said, and that's why you're not listening to me, just like you never listened to her. Now, when he said that, I thought Suman was going to slap him, but she recognized the truth and what he was saying, and she just broke down crying. So instead of going to confront the girls, they went back home. Now it's time for the dance. The girls are all dressed up and ready to go. Dusty looked like she already been drinking. She eyes low, she slurring her speech. She's staggering when she walking. So Kelly walks over to Joe and tells her that she made a drink for the ride. Joe smiles, but when Kelly walks off to get Dusty, she looks worried. Back over to Rebecca's parents' house, Warren calls Samara at the dance to let her know he can't make it. She gets mad, thinks that he's with Kelly, then she tells him that she can't even trust him anymore. Warren then goes and tells Rebecca that he talks to Samara and he thinks he should go to the dance. But Rebecca says, I told you can't go because there's a warrant out for your arrest. By that time, Rebecca's parents come in and questions Rebecca about who he was. Why is he there? What did he have on? Rebecca said that it was Gabe's suit and that he was a good kid, but the parents are still like he can't be here. He overheard them and Warren leaves. The girls, they're on their way to the dance. Joe asks Dusty if she was thirsty. So Dusty picks up the drink that Kelly made, the one that got the rat poison in it, but she don't know that. Then she breaks down asking Kelly if she really held Rena under the water. She said that she couldn't get it out of her head and that she didn't even want to be there anymore. Then she takes a sip of the drink, but immediately throws up. Kelly gets to screaming about not in her dad's car, and she was about to let Dusty have it, but Joe stopped her and said, look, I know what to do. Now, Cam and the chief, they go to the dance looking for Warren. They pull Samara into a classroom to ask her where was Warren. She said she didn't know. The chief said, I think you're lying, but I feel like you know something. So Samara told them that Warren said he watched Kelly take Rena out. But as Samara continued to tell the story, she said they dragged her into the water. Then Cam stopped her and asked, who drug her into the water, Samara? You said they. She said, I did. The chief said, yes. So are you saying Kelly or Warren dragged her into the water? Samara said, both. And then she starts crying. So they make a call to Cam's brother and send him over to Seven Oaks to look for the shoes that Samara told them that Kelly took. And sure enough, they were still in the closet. The police are at the dance waiting for the girls to show up. Rebecca calls Cam to ask her if she's seen Warren because he was at her house earlier, but now she can't find him. Cam gets mad because Rebecca didn't tell her that when they met earlier that day. Rebecca said that she was going to come down to the dance to explain everything, but at this point Cam is pissed. She don't want to hear it. She don't want her to come down there. Now, the girls have pulled up at a train track, and since Dusty said that she didn't want to be there anymore, they tell her she could lay on the tracks because once you're gone, all your problems go away. Dusty stands on the track. She ready to end it all, but Joe pulls her off the track and Kelly is heated. It looked like she wanted to push Joe on those tracks. Back at the dance, Samara is sitting at a table, and when she looks up, she sees Warren walk in. Then she rushes over and she tells him that the police was asking me so many questions, and Warren said, "It's okay. It's okay. I'm just here to say goodbye." Cam walks up to him and puts him in cuffs. Rebecca pulls up asking Cam, like, "What are you doing?" And Cam said that Warren's story was BS and that Warren played Rebecca. Rebecca screamed and said, "He's an effing kid. It was a mistake." Cam says, "A mistake? I just told you he KILLED a girl and you don't even care." Now Kelly and Joe, they're on their way to the dance. And Kelly, she going in on Joe talking about, "I thought you said that you was a gangster." Then all of a sudden the police swerve in real fast and block the car. They pull Joe out. She say, "We arrest you for assault and accessory to a 187. They get Dusty, who is still walking around by the tracks, tell her the same thing, assault and accessory to a 187. And they told Kelly that she was being arrested for the 187 of Rena Virks. So that was the end of episode 6. We have 2 more episodes to go. I have really been enjoying this series. I hope y'all have been enjoying it. It's a limited series based off a true story. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about it. And I'll talk to y'all later.